Welcome back, everyone, to another Farmer's Wife, I guess, cooking video. We haven't done a whole lot of them, but Navana and I are excited because we have a bread machine, and we wanted to share our first experience using it. We've never used it before, so I wanted to show you the process. So, I'm sure people from other places are watching as well, but Texas Roadhouse rolls, I know those are everybody's favorite. We will be making a cinnamon butter, yum yum yum. So instead of rolls, I'm going to be making a Texas Roadhouse loaf. Hazel thinks that's funny, so it's gonna be yummy. So this bread maker, don't eat that, give her puffs. This bread maker does everything for you. It mixes it, it kneads it, it cooks it, it does everything. So this will be interesting. So let's go ahead and get started. You are going to need a measuring cup, of course, a tablespoon. You're going to need 1 large room temperature egg. Some of our fresh chicken eggs. You will need at least 1 large room temperature egg. A 1/3 cup of sugar. I'm going to be using mostly white sugar, but I will be using just a little bit of brown sugar just to deepen that flavor. I don't have any fresh honey right now. Next time I'm going to be making this recipe with honey. I feel like that's going to make it really good. Butter, of course. Go ahead and get a whole stick out. Half of it's going to be used for the bread, half of it's going to be used for the cinnamon butter. You're going to need salt, coarse flour, yeast, and warm milk. So let me pause really quick. Let me get some warm milk going. Actually, no, we're not going to pause. I'm going to go ahead and get the dry ingredients in the bread maker first. I guess let me turn it on and see what... We will see. Okay, so let's start with our flour. Make sure it's all-purpose. Let me open up my flour. Okay, so it says 3.5 to 4 cups of flour. I would just start. Okay, so 1. 2. I'm gonna do 3. Play with the recipe according to what size you're trying to make. Like I said, I have never made this recipe before, so I'm not really sure what to expect. Who knows how it's gonna turn out? So that was 3 cups of flour. Let's do the sugar. Let me grab my sugar out of the... I keep my sugar in the fridge. That is just because I only have 3 canisters, and right now one of them is full of powdered sugar. So a 1/3 cup of sugar. I'm eyeballing it a little bit because I'm using my big cup. I'm going to add that, and now I'm going to add my brown sugar. And like I said, whenever I'm able to get some more local honey, and I can get some more local honey, you gonna help, Hazel? I might substitute some of the sugar for honey. And I'm gonna do like barely. You don't want to make the bread too sweet. You don't. You don't want to turn it into a cake. Okay. You don't need brown sugar, Hazel. Okay. So that is, I think that's all. Oh, salt. So for salt, I have one of these. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I use pink salt. Himalayan salt. Okay. So now we can go ahead and add, this is room temperature butter. You need half of this stick. Like I said, keep the other stick out. We're gonna melt that later for the cinnamon butter. Go ahead and add that in there. This is supposed to do everything for you. So I'm wondering if I need to do warm milk or just regular milk. We're gonna just try it. We're gonna just try it and see. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our wet ingredients in. Like I said, I've never done this before with one of these. I've never made this recipe. We will see how it goes. One of our chicken fresh eggs. Add that bad boy in there. I'm gonna go ahead and open the yeast. I did buy instant yeast. You are supposed to do half of a tablespoon. Half of a tablespoon. Woo! Okay. Let's close this back up. I'm using Red Star Quick Rise Instant Yeast. Can't talk today. Okay, so now let me just get my milk and we're gonna turn it on and see what all we gotta do. Unfortunately, I am just using store-bought milk. I'm doing my research and trying to find a local farm where I can get good goat milk and cow's milk that's fresh from a cow and fresh from a goat. You need 1 1/4 milk. 1 and just a little more. Okay. I might add, I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more flour. I wish you knocked it down.
Yeah, she'll try to knock it down.
Here. Okay. So, I'm gonna add just a little bit more flour just because of how this looks when I'm eyeballing it. Let me add some more. I went ahead and added almost another half a cup just to be safe. Okay, so I'm going to close it. How do I choose? 1 is white bread. Let me pause because I need to look and see how long this needs to cook, and I will restart just a second. Okay, I think I've figured it out. I got the piece down in there. Now let me make sure this is down in there the way it's supposed to be. There we go. Now, let's try. Okay, it is doing its job, it looks like. I'm going to add a little bit more flour just because when I was handling it, super sticky. Okay, we're gonna let it do its job. I will come back and video at every step. Right now it's saying about 3.5 hours until it's done. So right now it's kneading all the dough. So we will be back at each step. Just a little update. We are on rise number 1. Back for another check-in. We are at the bake and it is less than an hour left. I guess I'll open it so you can get a little sneak peek. When I tell you it smells delicious in this house, it smells delicious. So once it gets down to about 20 minutes left, I will do the cinnamon butter. So I will see y'all in about 30 minutes. Okay. My hair's a little funky. Sorry. Just pulled it back up. Yes, I'm still in my pajamas. Let's get this bread out. Look at the bread! Okay. Okay. Bread is made. Now let's make the butter. So I have half of a stick melted, almost melted. It was melted. Just 1 second. Okay, melted butter. Now, if you don't want to do the cinnamon butter that they do, just do melted butter. Add some cinnamon. I am not measuring. I am just eyeing it. Do a little bit brown sugar. Get your little jellyfish. Stir it up. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. This probably should not be a bread you make all the time. But take your little jellyfish and just brush it on there. If you don't want to brush it on there beforehand, don't worry about it. Just make the butter and then you can melt as needed. I am going to try it. So let me put the butter on. Let me cut me a piece. Now, of course, if you want to take the dough and make it into rolls, you can. But let's try it. This right here, this tastes just like Texas Roadhouse rolls, but in a loaf of bread. This is dangerously good. So, definitely recommend this recipe. Tweak it, make it your own. I found it on Pinterest, but that is absolutely amazing. thank y'all for joining me for another cooking video. One cool thing about this is you can make this bread a lot healthier for you just by making it with your own eggs or buying good milk from a local farmer, grounding your own flour, using your own type of flour, gluten-free flour, whatever you need to do. Make it your own. Make it as healthy as you want. I'm going to eat some more of this bread. As always, this has been The Farmer's Wife, and I'll see you next time. I just made a loaf of bread, well, a small loaf, in my bread maker. I used the recipe for Texas Roadhouse rolls. Made my own cinnamon butter. Oh my gosh, y'all might be watching me on 600 Pound Life. Please save.